Hey, what's up ladies and gents, Spoony Pizzas here, back again with more eFootball content. Today I'm going to be looking at the new update. I'm not going to play any games, so I'm not going to give you any sort of gameplay thoughts just yet. We'll see how that progresses as we go on. But right now, I just want to cover off a little bit of a gripe I have around one of the modes in this game. And also just take a look, very brief and quick look at what's sort of new in this update. So I don't think there's going to be too many gameplay changes. I think there's some bug fixes here is what you're seeing in the sort of fixes, but I'm not going to run through this too much. What I want to do is cover off who's available in the new contracts, what packs we've got. We've got a new manager here. He's out wide and also quick counter. So if that is something that may interest you, for me personally, I mostly go for out wide and possession. So he's not a person I'm typically going to go with, but for 500 coins, if you are a player that plays quick counter and maybe wants the option of out wide or out wide and wants the option of quick counter with the booster of balance and lofted passes, that could be for you. Not a bad option. You're also going to get one free spin at this pack here, the European Club Championship Season's Best. I'll have a quick spin, but I'm not anticipating anything special. Zalewski, yeah, he's going to get released probably. But let's just take a look at what else is here. We've got some J-League epics in the Player of the Week pack. We've got Cristiano Ronaldo. We'll see what he looks like with the booster effect. You know, I would love a decent Cristiano Ronaldo card. I have got the sort of free pickup version from the Player of the Week pack, but I don't know who's going to be better out of those two. We've got some Turkish pack openings here as well. Some European players you may like the look of to strengthen your squads. And here we're going to be able to unlock one of the Showtime players. And I'm going to give you, without leveling these players, I'm going to give you my opinion as to perhaps who you should unlock. Now I'm doing this, like I said, without any levelings. I'm just going to look at certain factors. So build up is a good style to have. His sort of speciality here is that visionary pass. He's got interception, blocker, aerial superiority, slide tackling, one-touch passing, heading, weighted pass. So, you know, if you want that sort of, I don't know, that defender who can bring the ball out from the back, that could be quite an interesting option. I do think the visionary pass is a little bit too much, but it's a nice to have, I guess. This guy here with the booster effect, who is a whole player, and he's got phenomenal pass, but I find with whole players, yes, they will get in between the lines, and that could be useful, but generally they tend to be taking shots on goal. But he's got one-touch passing, through passing, weighted passing, interception. So not bad if you're sort of playing, I think, a high press. But I think whole players tend to do more shooting than passing. But, you know, could be an option for you. There's no right or wrong answers here, really. Edison Cavani. Now, I love this guy. I think he's going to be great. 34 points. He looks really nicely rounded on his stats here. I think we could definitely make a decent build out of him. I'm a massive fan of Edison Cavani. I love his career. I love what he did. I love the way he plays, fights for everything. He's got bullet header, but as we know with goal poachers, you have to send the ball in early. You'd have to do early crossing because otherwise goal poachers don't react to the sort of heading. Even with aerial superiority and heading, that doesn't matter because his positioning will be wrong in the box when it comes to when you come to cross the ball. So it's good for early crosses, and I just don't think he's going to have the pace to break that back line. He may do, but you're going to have to get that attacking awareness really high in order to take advantage of that bullet header. So whilst I love this build, I love Edison Cavani, I don't know, I'm sort of on the fence. I just don't think that's going to work that well. Same when we had Suarez with bullet header. He was not effective for me at all, not for heading, and I just felt like that's wasted points. Like heading isn't all that accurate in the game. There's better crosses. You might as well just do the low driven stunning cross that I teach you in my attacking tutorial, and that's where you're going to get the most out of it. But I just feel like bullet header is a little bit wasted on goal poachers. Rahimi is a prolific winger. I'm not a person who plays 4-3-3, so I would have to literally train him in the wide positions, and he's got phenomenal finishing. And to be honest, I don't really rate that highly. I'm always a person who makes sure they're on their stronger foot, make sure they're shooting correctly, make sure their body angle's right. So I think like phenomenal finishing for me is for those lesser players who just press the shoot button and don't really think about the body type, the body shape, the angle, the balance, any of that. If that doesn't go through your head, then phenomenal finishing is probably for you. But for me, I think about all that before I take a shot. And it's for those tight games, right? When there is literally no space in the box. And sometimes you have to take shots off balance to just try and break your opponent down and just hope for a little bit of luck, maybe a goalkeeper and parry. So for me, as a prolific winger, I just don't think you're going to get the maximum impact out of that phenomenal finishing. And then finally, Torres, who does look like you could level him up quite nicely, has got edged crossing and he can play pretty much anywhere. He is left-footed as well. Take that into account. So for me personally, I would play him on the left-hand side of the field. Not really a fan of edge crossing where you have to cut back in on that stronger foot. It can have its advantages, especially from the corner of the box, which I show you in one of my tutorials. But I've never actually tried that in a game because I've always had the player with edge crossing from the right hand side if he's right footed, left hand side if he's left footed. So could be an option, could be worth trying out just to see if that's any good. But like I say, if you see my outside curler tutorial or the Trivela tutorial, it shows you in there where you should be crossing from and how you should be crossing. So I really do like this player. I think this is the pick of the pack for me, but it's entirely subjective. It's hard to choose, but I do like Beraldo, who can bring the ball out. If you want a sort of Rio Ferdinand to bring the ball out of defense, I think he could be the man. I love Edison Cavani, but I just don't think the bullet header with the goal poacher role is going to be that good. So for me, it's either Torres or Beraldo. I mean, Benji isn't a bad option, I guess, but I'm just looking at his stats and he's not really wowing me. He hasn't got great finishing stats. So I would definitely focus on his passing. I know he's got long range curler, but I'd focus on boosting his passing stats rather than his finishing stats. So, but the whole player does tend to be further up front. So I just don't think you can maximize that player skill that he's got. So for me, Beraldo, but number one choice is Torres. Number two is Beraldo. Third, I would probably lean towards Edison Cavani just for nostalgia because I really do like him as a player. And then Benja, and then Rahimi in last place. We've got the Club International Cup selection for nominating contracts. Antoine Griezmann, he's always been pretty good in this game. Got really good player ID. I think that's an easy pickup. If you want a big, tall, powerful whole player, then Milinkovic Savic will fill your needs. Omar Mamouche, very nice. I really do like this player. I think he's going to be like, he reminds me so much of Salah with the right foot. He really does, not just because of the country, just the way he plays. I think Manchester City have got a great signing here and could also be a very, very nice acquisition. Goal poacher, just depends if you can get that attacking awareness really high, make him effective. Varela, South American anchorman, pretty good. He's pretty quick. Not often do you see an anchorman who's pretty quick across the ground but has good balance as well. So he could be a very, very nice addition to your team. Some really good players here on the nominating contract pack. And just as I say that, this is probably a player I would skip for 5 stars. Attacking fullback. I think we've been given so many good right backs lately, so I don't think this is a player you're probably going to need. Alex Telles for a left back, attacking left back. He's got stats in all the right areas. If you want that attacking style, I just find that the fullbacks in this game can be pretty nullified by a lot of formations, and you generally have to set them on defensive to deal with the 4-2-4s, the 4-3-3s. But if you did want to utilize him as a proper attacking left back, then that's a great option too. But for 5 stars, that's expensive for this player, especially when there's so many other good players in this pack. For me, Griezmann, Marmouche, Varela. I think Varela's probably my top pick because I just haven't got a fast anchorman in my lineup. But I tend to play that many anchormen. I've got Rodri, so would I really need Varela? I don't know. But then do I need these 2 players either? Probably not either, but they're just like nice to haves, I guess. If you've got spare nominated contract packs, then perhaps go for those. Diego Carlos, a very, very nice build-up centre-back here. Great stats in all the right places. Love that. For 5 stars, not bad. But again, I'd probably lean towards the other players being picked first. Katuku, probably said his name wrong, but doesn't really shine for me. But for 4 stars, if they ever do like Turkish events, then maybe that could be a thing. Or if you're playing with the Turkey national team, might be a nice option. Sarri, great pace, but little output. Got some nice skills. This guy's not really doing anything for me. Mustafa, and for 4 stars, with limited playing positions, not really a player I could opt for, even at 4 stars. I think that's a bit expensive. Another Mustafa, attacking fullback, doesn't have the lofted passing ability really to be worth 4 stars. Onto the Brazilian league now. 5-star build-up defender. Again, not bad. Good height there, 192 centimeters. Lacking in player skills, but he's got all the right ones you want. Acrobatic clearance, aerial superiority, blocker, interception, man marking, heading, fighting spirit, all good stuff. But for 5 stars, I don't know, I'll leave that up to you guys. Maybe you're creating a Brazilian team, who knows. Polga, great sort of stats around dribbling. He's going to feel really, really good on the ball. But again, little output, and with one touch passing missing, I'm not sure you could spend 5 stars on 5-star nominating contract pack on this guy. Hugo Mora, box to box midfielder, more focused on the defensive aspect, and he's in that sort of defensive midfield slot. It's the only position he can play, but without blocker in those player skills, I think you can skip on him even for 4 stars. Gustavo Silva can play in a few positions. Again, feel very mobile, but I tend to find that I like their dribbling stats to be higher than their speed and acceleration now. I think that's the way it feels with 4.4, and the limited player skills is a skip for me. Evaldo, destroyer centre back. For me, destroyers are pretty bad in 4.4. I mean, I know it's 4.5 now, but unless they fix them, I can't really see anyone opting for him, even for 4 stars. And an attacking fullback, decent stats, but for 4 stars, I don't know. He's got pinpoint crossing, he's got interception. Don't tend to generally have blocker on the fullbacks, but that's not bad. Would be nice if he had like 1-touch passing, but he's got through passing, so for 4 stars, it's a hard sell. And then the J League, got Kubo here. Generally tend to find these players have very, very limited player skills. 4 stars, don't think he's worth it. Orchestrator, I mean, if they ever had some J League events, it's been a while since we've had a J League event, but again, massively limited on player skills. For an Orchestrator, you'd like to see interception. Attacking fullback, again, limited on player skills, not bad. Lofted pass ability, but he's right-footed and he plays at left back, but he can play at the right back position, so I'd probably lean towards pushing him on the right back. And he's got good defensive and offensive qualities. For 4 stars though, it's expensive, but if that's what you need, and if there is if there is a J League event, then he is actually probably one of the better players. An Orchestrator, central midfielder here, got good player stats, missing that interception. He's got good player stats, good player skills for the most part, so not a bad option for 4 stars. Good at set piece taking as well. And then we've got this player here, whole player, sort of lacking in the passing department. No 1-touch passing, no through passing. So yeah, not brilliant. Not for 4 stars. It's not a recommendation from me. So yeah, like I said, I wanted to moan or have a little moan about one of the gameplay modes, and that is the eFootball League. Because let me tell you, the grind, you are joking. I've been pushed back into Division 5. Sheesh, you are joking. I was in Division 3. Oh dear. Yeah, the grind from Division 10 to Division 3 was one of the most painful things I've ever had to endure. I honestly, like, Division 10 to Division 6 was like on beginner. I would literally start the game, right? Because you can't end the games quickly or, just accept the result, like automate the result from there on. I would literally either start the game, score like 3 goals, and then go and do a workout, go and do some sit-ups, press-ups, and then come back, go have some dinner, and then I'll be like, oh, look, my player's still there with the ball, the game's over, and literally, like, there was no challenge whatsoever. It's literally beginner level up to, I would say, at least Division 6. And then it gets a little bit annoying. Division 5 and 4, they're not really challenging for me personally. I do appreciate everyone's at different levels, but I think majority of players could beat those levels quite comfortably. It's probably like on regular, maybe top player or professional. Probably more like professional, I think, Division 5 or 6. And then Division 4 was probably like top player. I was like coasting. And Division 3 I've not experienced just yet, but I'm really disappointed to see I'm being knocked back to Division 5. Not looking forward to that grind. I'm just going to probably literally like bash those out and then start my road to glory from Division 3 again. So yeah, it wasn't difficult to get from Division 10 to Division 3. It was just difficult in terms of mental fortitude, having the desire to actually just literally press the start button on a match and walk away. It was shockingly painful. I think that's probably harder than some of the matches I'll actually face. At least if I've got a hard match, I'm being challenged, I'm engaged. But if I've got games where I can just literally just walk away, I mean, Konami just need to scrap all those divisions, or at least like start from Division 5, get rid of Division 10, or from 10 to 6 or something. Just start Division 5, 4 or 5, maybe 6, but not have beginner levels where even my son, who's like 5 years old, never touched the gamepad in his life, can get away without conceding a goal in those levels. I mean, come on. There's just that, and that explains the reason why there's hardly anyone in the higher divisions. Like probably from Division 6 to Division 1, there's like probably like 5% of the community, because no one is be prepared to endure that pain of going through all those matches. I bet in the comments people were like, yeah, I just couldn't get into it because it was just boring. It's too easy. Yeah, so you should be able to like get to a certain stage, like 3 goals up, 5 goals up, and there should be like a button to say, look, I've completed it. You know, the AI can now quit out, or you can quit out and you get the win. You shouldn't have to be forced to play that long. And I think that's what Konami should be looking at. Hopefully they see this video. Hopefully they're still watching. And yeah, please Konami, please take the pain away, because no one's gonna play this mode, or very few are gonna sit down. I mean, if I wasn't a content creator, there's no way I'd be playing this mode. No way. Not. I'd want to feel the challenge of Division 1. I want to see what that's like. I want to see how high I can get. But I'm not gonna, you know, if I wasn't a content creator, I wouldn't do Division 10 to Division 6. I would have got bored by Division 9. I'd be like, nah, I'm done. I'm out of here. So yeah. Anyway, that's all for me, ladies and gents. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.